Hello and welcome to part 5, which is all about cornering and how to get it right safely. Now if you look at this photo, the thing that leaps out at you immediately is that the area of tyre that's actually in contact with the road is only about the size of the palm of your hand for each tyre. So when we're banked over, there's not that much holding you there. In one of the previous films, we talked about how positioning could make our riding a lot safer and our progress quicker and smoother. And I'd like to show you today how the right use of speed and power can improve the safety of our cornering. We already know that the bike's most stable when it's travelling in a straight line, upright and under drive, or with the engine just pulling. So to set out for corners, I want to make sure that I'm in the right place on the road, the right speed and with the right gear engaged. And this means that any braking or gear changing needs to be done and dusted before we enter the bend. When I enter the bend, I want to be at the right speed to make sure that when I leave, I'm on my own side of the road and under control. The other thing I want to do is to have the bike under drive, just pulling through the bend, which is going to help to set the edge on the tyres and keep the bike as stable as possible. When I come past the apex of the bend and it's time to bring the bike more upright and take the steering off, that's when the power goes back in. Of course, every bend will be different, depending on how sharp it is, how much view we've got, and what other traffic there is about. Will all vary the way and the amount that we set the bike up for corners, but the principle always remains the same. Go in at the right speed with the bike under drive and then power off the apex. You may have noticed that in all the footage we've seen so far, I've only had to use gentle braking once. I'm using acceleration sense to keep a smooth ebb and flow on the power delivery, just gently on and off the power, which is keeping the ride fast, smooth and safe. You'll also see that some of the power variations I put in are very, very subtle, even down perhaps to a couple of miles an hour. But it can make all the difference between getting it right and obviously getting it wrong. I'm looking across to my left at the 10 or 11 o'clock area. I've got the line of the road and I can see the roof of that white van that's coming towards me, and I'm going to meet him just as he comes off the apex of the bend. I can't see the road surface though, and there may be something that's going to cause me a problem in my lane, so I get my speed off, take a gear to match the speed and come in under drive until I've got view. Then as the steering comes off, the power goes on. I've come up behind this bus now, and I'm looking for the opportunity to overtake him, so I've got myself into a following position, about a yard for every mile an hour that I'm travelling. And as you can see, it gives me a good view down both sides of him. Now I can see with the oncoming traffic and the driveways and the houses, the overtake's not on at the moment, but I've got a good view of the road ahead, and it's looking good now. So I'm going to start to move up from a following to an overtaking position. I've taken a gear to match the lower speed, and once I've cleared this junction on the right, the overtake's on. So, cornering. Not rocket science, but I think you'll agree that it's quite a complex mix of observation, positioning, acceleration sense, all your skills, and your ability to control the bike, and with all those external factors thrown in as well. The secret is take your time. I know I probably make it look easy on here, but of course I've been doing this for a few weeks now. As with everything else, remember to go in slowly and come out quickly. That wraps it up for today. So I hope I see you again, and in the meantime, stay safe.